Hi, I'm Lori Trahan. Today I want to talk about the women and young girls in Republican-controlled states who have had their reproductive rights cruelly and systematically stripped away. Rights that women have cherished for half a century thanks to the efforts of our mothers and our grandmothers. In the 8 months since the conservative majority on the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, over 20 states have moved to limit access to abortion care. 12 states have implemented near-total bans, and in many of those states, women could face criminal penalties for seeking reproductive care out of state. In Wisconsin and North Dakota, abortion care is completely unavailable to women and young girls, no exceptions. And in 5 other states, Republicans have sought to curtail abortion care earlier and earlier, while 2 other bans are currently held up in court. In total, 70 million women and girls have less of a right over their own body today than they did just 1 year ago. They now have to navigate a complex legal landscape made up of different state laws that in some cases, anti-abortion lawmakers can't even fully explain. And the result has been severe damage to women's health and well-being. With many women being forced to face life-threatening complications while their doctors try to determine their own legal liability if they provide care. In Ohio, a woman named Christina was bleeding so much from her miscarriage that she had to get in a bathtub to avoid making too much of a mess. When she finally made it to the emergency room, she was denied care and discharged from the hospital. Before she even got home, she began bleeding again. In Texas, a woman named Amanda was told she was going to lose her daughter in the womb. There was nothing they could do to save her. Despite her diagnosis, her doctor discharged her, telling Amanda they couldn't do anything for her until she went into labor and gave birth to a stillborn baby, or until she developed an infection that risked her life. It took 3 days for her to become sick enough for the ethics board at her local hospital to determine she could legally receive life-saving care. The scar tissue from the delay in care forced her to undergo another surgery, and the infection she developed could jeopardize her ability to have kids in the future. I want to be clear. What's happening to these women is wrong. It's wrong that a doctor has to deny treatment to a woman with an ectopic pregnancy until it ruptures. It's wrong to force a woman to develop sepsis so that her life is in enough jeopardy to avoid a lawsuit. And it's wrong for a hospital to tell a woman experiencing a traumatic miscarriage that she has to pass the pregnancy tissue at home in a bloody bathtub. Now, I recognize there are Republican elected officials here in Congress and across our country who hear these harrowing stories and agree that this shouldn't be happening. And I know there's a fear that supporting legislation like the Women's Health Protection Act may mean the end of their career in Republican politics. So I want to take a moment to speak directly to them. If you won't join us to codify abortion rights, work with us to, at a minimum, make sure women and their health care providers can navigate the laws in place today. I just introduced the Info for Reproductive Care Act to ensure women know what their state's laws mean for their reproductive health. I introduced it so women don't have to go hours or days waiting for a hospital lawyer to decide what care they can receive. And I introduced it so women know if their home state can try to put them in jail if they have to seek abortion care elsewhere. These are basic things that 70 million women deserve to know, that they need to know. So work with us. Compel members of your party to come to the table to pass this legislation before any other woman has to experience what Christina went through or what Amanda was forced to endure. This is the absolute least we should be able to do.